Together this Patriotic windmill block, and it looks sort of complicated, but I think we'll do a fine job. The first step is to sew together the triangles. So the easiest way to do that is to just fold them over each other and pin them in place, and that way you don't lose the orientation when you take them to the sewing machine. So just go ahead and do that for all four. This would be a very easy block to get confused on. So I'm trying to be very careful and pin in place. Okay, so while I was gone, I went ahead and I sewed the pairs together. I also sewed the squares together, and I wanted to show you how to nest the seams. So each pair is sewn together, and then I press towards the dark blue. When I go to make this 4-patch, those are going to sit right together, and the seam will be aligned when I go to sew it, and that is called nesting. So I'm going to go ahead and make the 4-patch, and then what I will do is attach one of these triangle sets to either side of the 4-patch, and then we'll come back and see what that looks like. Okay, so we've gone ahead and we've sewn the 4-patch together, and then we've sewn the 2 end triangles. So what we have left to do are the 2 side ones, and I will remind you that this is a really confusing block, so be sure you have a diagram with you to make sure you have the orientation right, so you don't have to take out your stitches. So what's nice on this side is we still have that nesting going on. So the way I pressed it, the blue will snug right in there. I'll go ahead and stitch it. Down here you're going to run into some problems because you have this little tail that's left. You can cut it off ahead of time before you put it underneath the presser foot on your sewing machine, or you can just sew over it. It doesn't really matter. I usually leave them because if I have a problem, then I can still go ahead and take that stitching out. This one, it didn't work as for the nesting, so I'm just going to be really careful with my seams and make sure they line up. And with careful pinning, I'm hoping it turns out. I'll check it when I get done sewing. Also remember, these triangles are on the bias, so you don't want to mess with them too much. You don't want to end up having to pull them because you'll get them out of shape. So there you go. I think we're ready to go ahead and stitch these. So next we'll just see the finished product.